Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth, and fancy seeing you here in June. Are very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't like the touching, unless you're extremely hot. All right, let's go then. So it's Saturday. I'm so fucking bored. I've shagged next door's missus 6 times. There's nothing else to do but to talk about this morning's nose job girl, and her name is Carla Belushi, or whatever her damn name is, right? So I'm watching this the other day, and basically I'm like Superman. I can see through anything, right? So they're interviewing this woman. She's come out publicly that she faked depression so she could get a free nose job, right? And I can see through this like anyone's business. But I'm on Twitter, that bloody woman milking the system, bloody NHS, we should all go private. That's the reaction they wanted. Should we give this a watch, right? And let's see what went down.
Now, our next guest says she's always hated the way her nose looks, so last year finally made the decision to do something about it.
But after discovering a nose job would cost her around £7,000 privately, Carla Belushi says that she instead decided to fake mental health and breathing problems to get the operation free on the NHS. And she joins us now to tell us why she's actually proud of milking the system. Welcome. Wow, I mean, it's a big thing to go public on something like this, and you are going to get battered on social media. How do you feel about that?
To be really honest, I get battered on social media anyway, before this.
To be honest, that's what I want. I want all the attention, right? I want to become famous without actually doing anything, right? So I've come out with the most outrageous thing I can think about, right?
I get a constant, trolling 24/7.
Why? What have you done before?
Just literally former glamour model, got an Insta page, influencer, put some nice pictures, nothing not above board, nice pictures, but...
A glamour model, a former Insta model. Since when, Carla? Since when? I know all the influencers. I know all the glamour models. And you ain't one. You're a joke, love. You wouldn't even get my attention if I had 5 fruit shoots.
People don't agree with it. I'm a mum of 3 and I get trolled 24/7.
Well, the thing is that you can, that's unfortunate. You are entitled to any career you like, and it's unfortunate that you get trolled for being a glamour model. That's a career that you've chosen. Mm-hmm. However, it's very different when you freely happily admit that you milked the NHS and you have lied. You've been a parasite on the NHS.
Obviously, press and media, they have, what I've said is true. I'm going to stand by what I've said. I did bend the truth to get a nose job on the NHS. I lied. Yeah, I'm going to take the backlash. I lied, but I do work. I was born here. I feel like I'm not really done anything that wrong.
So you feel entitled to something, even though it's for cosmetic purposes, not for a real reason. Because the NHS is there not for cosmetic procedures.
It is, but I think I'm one of many. I think I'm just the one that's come forward, and there is cracks in our system.
Okay, well, let's start at the beginning of this anyway, because you've always been unhappy with your nose, haven't you? Why? What was wrong with your nose in the first place?
It was just often, in my mind, when I look at pictures, it was slightly off centre. I had a little bump, even to the extent where I went to see a private surgeon.
Hang on, have you seen my big fat nose? Have you seen it? Oh, I'm so depressed. Can't breathe. Somebody give me a free operation now.
Yeah. And I was like, how much would it cost to get my nose done? He was around £7,000, he said. So I was actually advised it wasn't really worth paying for because
the difference wouldn't be that huge. And you paid for cosmetic surgery in the past, so you've had other procedures.
Yes.
So you're not afraid to pay for things. But for this, because it wouldn't make that much difference, you thought, actually, I'll let somebody else pay for this.
If it's not going to make any difference, why the frick did you get it done, Carla? Talk to me in confidence. I can help you.
I'm going to be really honest. I was surprised to get this nose job as much as anyone else. It started off as a bit of fun between friends. I was like, I'm in the surgery. They want 7,000. My friends were like, don't do it. It's not worth it. And I said one evening, I was like, I'm going to see. I'm going to see if I can get this nose job.
So you went to the doctor, your GP. Mm-hmm. And what did you say? Because this is where the lie begins, isn't it?
I literally just said that I wasn't happy about my nose. It made me feel unhappy in day-to-day life. It did get me a bit depressed and down, which was an exaggeration of the truth. I've never been clinically depressed, or I've never got no like proof of being depressed, but I just said it. I was advised to say a few things, and before I knew it, I was advised to say things by a GP.
So the GP that you've also admitted that you flirted with? Well, no, fair enough.
Yeah, okay, I'm not going to lie, you use your looks a bit, I'm a friendly person with a big personality, so I was like, I am very...
So you flirted with the GP?
If you flirted with me, love, I'd laugh you out of my fucking surgery. Not that I'm actually a fucking doctor. She flirted with him, so this guy gave her some advice. Oh, please. The whole thing is absolute bollocks. And anyone who believes this Tory right-wing propaganda is freaking nuts. Where's my control?
And he said, well, this is what you should say when you go and see the surgeon.
Basically, yeah. And before I knew it, I had an appointment within literally 4 weeks to go and see a surgeon.
And you went to see the surgeon, and from that point forward, there was never...
It got granted there and then.
So it was never any mention about your mental health then, about the breathing issues?
Had a little look and said, do you have breathing issues? I just said, yeah. After what I was advised to say, I find it a bit hard to breathe at night. I get a nosebleed. And yeah, within literally 30 seconds of saying, he said, wait, we can do the operation. And I was shocked. I didn't think it would happen.
So you didn't think it was happen because I guess somewhere in your head you'll be thinking this isn't right. This is not how the NHS should be used. So that must have been why you were thinking how.
It was always in the back of my mind. Yeah.
But it didn't stop you because this is what I want to understand. There must be a little bit of self-policing when it comes to this. Just because there's cracks in the system, and just because you can get away, and just because you know the right things to say to make it happen, self-policing of your own moral standards.
Self-policing coming from someone from the entertainment industry. Oh, Holly, have you not ever done anything wrong? Have you not cheated on a boyfriend or a husband or looked at a hot guy or thought, I wouldn't mind some of that? You haven't taken advantage of a situation to get someone or something that you want. Have you ever done any self-policing, Holly? I love people in the entertainment industry. When they shout action, they're the moral virtue signalers, aren't they? But everything we read in the media, we know that's not so. This is someone from the most corrupt industry you can find, and she is talking about self-policing. She's sitting next to a guy she can't stand.
Wouldn't you be thinking, it's such a stretch system, this should be used for proper medical needs? We've had parents with children that have sat on the sofa that can't get the NHS to fund life-changing, life-saving drugs for them because it's a system that's so stretched.
That did cross my mind, but for me, if I was given that choice, this person needs his treatment more than you, do you still want your nose job? I would have said no. But because that is what's happening.
Indirectly, you can't steal the money.
Because it got as far as it did, I believe it was, they were going to do this operation, so maybe I did have something wrong with my nose. It was as bad as I thought, because they're going to do it, because they wouldn't do it if not.
No, but that's not what you've said. I mean, you're now almost sort of believing your own lie, because you said, there was nothing wrong with my breathing. I did not have any mental health issues. I milked the system. I'm proud of milking the system. I flirted with the GP who coached me into how to get this for nothing. We've had 3,500 comments so far on this. And the thing is that I understand that what you're saying there with Holly, you can't actually see the money. You don't see that you're taking it from one area and using it for that. However, you have got 3 kids.
Yeah.
So what sort of lesson are you teaching them? Hey, guys, it's fine to go out and cheat the system. And what's more, I'm going to go on telly and I'm going to be happy about it and have no remorse.
But the thing is, I'm not saying about the remorse, but I am brutally honest and I will take the backlash. But I think I am one of many people that I am just a brutally honest person.
So it's okay if you want.
I'm not saying, but maybe there is cracks in the system. Maybe they need to be revealed, and maybe I am revealing them cracks. So something does need to be done. I'm not saying what I done was right. I'm saying I don't even regret
so you're doing
whatever I've done. Wouldn't say it's a favour, but I'm just saying there is cracks in the system, but there's also many other cracks that aren't mentioned, and I can't mention them.
Yeah, like the one in my backside.
I just want to read this. We've got a spokesperson for the Royal Free London said the claims made by Carla Bellucci relating to Chase Farm Hospital are categorically untrue. Following an injury to her nose, she had a procedure at Chase Farm Hospital which was conducted for medical reasons and no cosmetic work was carried out. All of the appropriate diagnostic tests were completed prior to this operation to ensure her eligibility for the procedure. So, are you making this up for some reason?
I haven't got a lie. I mean, you've seen the pictures. My nose was off. I had a bump. My nose is now shorter. Obviously, they need to cover themselves. But then couldn't they give you that proof? You know, I'm not stupid.
They say it was an injury. Was it an injury?
No, it was not an injury. 120%.
Would you do it again? Now sitting here now and seeing the reaction, and would you do it again?
I'm not planning on it.
Would
I do this again?
After coming out of it, realising how far you pushed it and how surprisingly how far it got, and now sitting here right now, would you do it again?
I could lie and just say no, I wouldn't, but then that's part lie. No, we can't go back in time. But would I do it again? I just think I was there. I got offered to take £7,000. You know, most of us, someone in my shoes, would have to take a finance loan or use all your savings to have it done, or someone offers it for free. I took it, and I think a lot of other people would.
What's interesting, a lot of the comments are being made today. Nikki says if she openly admits this, then surely she should be forced to pay the money back, just like any other benefit fraudster would. Alicia says, shouldn't she go to prison? It's disgusting behaviour. The lengths that some people will go to get what they want is appalling. A lot of people actually saying, now you've said this publicly, what's to stop them coming after you and saying, you've lied, you've publicly admitted you lied, this is the bill.
But it's not, you know, I've probably come out, and there is going to be massive backlash with this, but I had and clearly the NHS are making claims that it was an injury, so clearly there can't be no backlash there, because they're clearly saying I didn't have cosmetic surgery, which I clearly know I did. So they'd be shooting themselves.
Well, I mean, it's fascinating, and has set social media alight. We'll read some of those later. Thank you for being so brave and coming in.
Thank you for being so brave and coming on. You've just paid a what? A bullseye? No, more than a bullseye. £1,000, 10 grand. What have you paid this idiot to come on? Is she an actress? Is she real? What's going on? What was the whole point of that, right? The whole point of that is that ITV love them as much as I do, and I do. They're a great channel. They've been entertaining me for 20, 30 years, right? But at the end of the day, ITV have become a bourgeois, middle-class channel, a right-wing, middle-class channel who have just tried to show us how terrible the NHS is. You know, even trying to funnel in their statement as a lie without saying it's a lie. The whole point is to kind of incite the public to want to abolish the NHS. Of course, that's never going to happen. But it just goes to show you, doesn't it? So let's just pretend this woman is real. There's many of these people trying to get freebies off the NHS, and they can. It is a hole in the system. But whose responsibility is this? The doctor she flirted with? No. Let me tell you, the government. There should be roadblocks in the system that this never happens, right? But it does happen. So I'm not into moral outrage. If she was able to get a free nose job, do you know what, sweetheart? Good luck to you. But I tell you what, who's laughing? Not only has she come up speaking about this, she got paid probably at least 10, 20 grand. And of course, her people, because all these people have got people and representatives, you mark my words, they would have checked legally if she was going to get into trouble. And she's not. She's just made a lot of money. She's had 5 minutes of fame. And that, my friends, is what this society today is all about. See you next time.